Hey everyone, welcome back to On the Fence Movie Reviews. I am Rob and will be reviewing the movie In the Earth. Well, today I'm going to be reviewing In the Earth. I am alone today. Adrian is not here. Um, he, I asked him if he wanted to check this movie out. He was just like, I don't know, but I actually think he's still a little sad about the ArcLight Cinemas closing. That hit him very deep, and I think he's gonna need some time to heal from that. So, Adrian, whenever you're ready, come back on these reviews. Anyway, so I just actually got done watching in the Earth. Now, In the Earth was directed by Ben Wheatley, and I'm gonna have a little cheat sheet here because Adrian usually does all this stuff. So, he's good for something. Just playing. I love you, Adrian. Anyways, and it stars Joel Fry and Alora Torcha. Now I know I'm probably butchering her last name, but anyways, they play Martin and Alma. Now the way this movie kind of starts off is they are in a virus kind of situation. There's a virus. They really don't go too deep into that, but they let you know off the bat there's a virus. Uh, the character of Martin is going to this research facility. You know, they're spraying him down with stuff and checking his temperature, and they get wearing masks and blood checks and all that stuff. So there is something going on, and they hint at that. Where he meets up with this character Alma, and they are going to go to this other research facility, but they got to walk. So it's about a 2-day walk, and they start to head there, and they run into a couple of issues that start happening, a couple of people, and that's kind of just where I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to ruin it for you because it just came out today. Actually, here's a little side note. I think this movie came out at Sundance. It was really released theatrically today, but it came out at Sundance, and fun fact about this movie is from I read it, they shot it last year over a span of like 15 days with a super small budget. So I think that's pretty cool. I guess that would be like a bonus thing for me. Another reason for me just to be like, oh, I'm gonna check this movie out. But as far as details into the movie, I'm gonna leave it at that. They kind of show you in the trailers, in the forest, they have kind of this lore, and I almost likened it to like the Blair Witch Project, where there's a lore of this town or the forest. And so when I seen the trailers, I was like, oh, it kind of reminds me of that. When I went into this movie, I had expectations, and they were met as far as what I thought the movie was going to be about, but then they were not. And so, again, don't want to spoil anything, but I'm going to kind of leave it at that, and I'm going to tell you the things that I really enjoyed about this movie. I think the way they use sound, the way they use visuals to mess with your mind, like physically messed with your mind. I think they do a great job of that. Everyone in this movie, the actors, they do a really good job. They're very believable. They do most of this movie takes place in a forest, and I think they do a really good job of making you feel trapped, almost, if I can use that word. They make you feel trapped, and for this movie, I think it worked really well. I think this is probably going to be more of a negative thing. It didn't affect me too much, but for people who are light sensitive, or strobe lights really bother you, or even like audible, if weird noises and sounds bug you, or they give you headaches and stuff like that, this movie does that a lot. And if that really bothers you, I might hold off on watching this on a big screen, just because I would say half the movie they do these strobe light things and these weird audio things that mess with your mind, and mess with your hearing and your vision, and therefore it messes with your mind. You're like, what are you seeing, kind of thing. So that could be a negative, also could be a positive, depending on who you're talking to, because there's some people who that just would take them out of a movie because they would get a headache or whatever the case may be. And some people, it would mess with their mind. Like me, I felt like it messed with my mind a little bit, where I was like not seeing stuff. If you ever watch the strobe light and you kind of move your hand and it like disappears, and they do that a lot, and they play with visuals, and I think it's really cool the way they do it, but can see how some people may not like it. Another, I guess I would say, negative thing about this movie is I feel like, in my opinion, it kind of drags. There are some very intense scenes in here, and which go to the positive end, but overall, I feel like this movie drags a little, not a little bit. I feel like it drags in spots. Like you get some good, you get story, and then it kind of drags, and then some stuff happens, and then it drags, and then some stuff happens, and you get some more drag. So that kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. Um, I don't know if it's enough to say that I would not recommend this movie, or I would recommend this movie, but just kind of note that, in my opinion, I feel like the movie drags not a little, it drags a little more than just a little bit. Somewhere in the middle, it kind of drags. But overall, I thought this was a pretty cool movie, a very interesting movie. If you have expectations about this movie, or you think it's going to be one way, the best thing I can tell you is kind of leave those expectations at the door and kind of go in empty-minded to check this movie out, because it wasn't what I expected. That, not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. In no way, it could be no negative nor positive. It's just, it wasn't what I expected. So I would say that at the very front, just kind of go in with an open mind when you go to check this movie out. But in saying this, would I get off the fence, or am I gonna stay on the fence? Here's the thing: when it comes to that, I like to think of several things. Like, what to recommend this movie to someone else. For me, I would be like, okay, would I go watch this movie with someone else? And for me personally, I'm gonna say I'm gonna stay on the fence when it comes to In the Earth. In no way am I saying is this a bad movie, or a horrible movie, or not a good movie. I think it's a very interesting movie. It's a very weird movie. It, like, part of my mind wants to say I really liked it, and part of my mind is still confused about it. So unless I can definitively say, like, you should go check this movie out, I'm gonna have to stay on the fence about it, because I just, like, if I was gonna tell someone, let's go see this movie, would I get off the fence and be like, hey, let's go see this movie? And I don't know if I'd want to see this movie again. But in saying that, I think if you are into just weird kind of movies that visually mess with you, I would say go check it out. But for me, I'm going to stay on the fence when it comes to In the Earth. Well, in saying that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this review. If you've seen In the Earth, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Am I completely off when it comes to my thoughts about this, or do you think I'm kind of going in the right direction? Let me know. Leave a comment. If you like this video, hit that like button. We really do appreciate that. It helps with getting this video pushed. So we truly do appreciate you guys checking this video out, and hitting that like button. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, because that always helps. And you can catch us on our Instagram at On the Fence Movie Reviews for some behind the scenes stuff, and just sometimes when we go out, we'll just take pictures of when we go to the movie theaters and kind of stuff like that, just to kind of let you know what we're watching and what we're kind of doing. So, and in saying all that, remember, we'll catch you on the fence.